Streaming to you live from an undisclosed location deep within the bowels of the Rose City, it's Live in Portland with Chris Franklin! This week, welcome Michelle Jones and Elizabeth Wegman of Wayfinder Academy, comedy by Lydia Manning, Jeff Boggess of Trail Butter, Greg Pressler of Portland Jerseys, and Doggy in the Window, with music by Kingsley, and our in-house band, Sexy Marvin and the Extraterrestrial. But first, please welcome, as a special sneak peek for next week's Secret Society show, Hayley Lynn.
Well, hello, beautiful people. All right, so this song, little preview for next week. The song is called I Wish You Loved Me Like Your Cell Phone. So I hope you guys enjoy. Ba-da-da-da-dum. I wish you loved me like your cell phone. You stare at me all the time. You sit and look at me and take a selfie or upload a Vine. Well, life will be fine. Oh, you could put me in your pocket. Oh, I'd be your wallet and I'd never lose a single dime. I wish you loved me like your cell phone, so maybe I could take up your time. Do cell phone ring. Ba da da da. Ba da da. Ba-da-da-da-dum. I wish you loved me like your cell phone. You'd be glued to me. I'd spend hours a day right next to your face and chat with all your friends over MySpace. Oh wait, no, MySpace's not happening anymore. Facebook? Instagram? Grindr? Okay, that works. Then you'd mourn for me when you'd scratch my screen, save money to make me new and clean. Yeah, if you love me like your cell phone, maybe you'll be true to me. 'Cause honey, I know I will be true. Yeah, I'm the kind who has enough data to nurse you. No other lover can give you the memory that you need. You can click and tap me. You've already trapped me with the code on your lock screen. I wish you loved me like your cell phone. Ooh. Ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-dum. Wish you loved me like your cell phone. You try to treat me well. Actually, I'd be close to your heart, 'cause I can't start my day without you. But I'm afraid of that day you want an upgrade to a 8S or 10X or Galaxy or whatever they have these days, you know, phones. 'Cause if you love me like your cell phone, you can choose to throw me away. You can choose to throw me away. Maybe I don't wanna be your cell phone, no. No, 'cause 'cause then you send me dick pics every day.
Hayley Lynn, everybody! Hayley Lynn! You guys ready for another song? Well, too bad. You're going to have to wait for her Secret Society show where Hayley Lynn opens up with Sexy Marvin and Ski Bop. You guys, it's going to be an amazing show next week. Hayley, thank you so much for coming in and giving us a preview.
Yeah.
For the audience, how can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook at Hayley Lynn Music, Hayley. And you can also find me on Instagram, Hayley_Lynn_music. I'm wearing a hat and a fun jacket, so you'll probably find me, but that's where I usually am.
So on that cell phone that you love, look up Hayley Lynn, everybody. Hayley Lynn! Guys, I'm your host, Chris Franklin, and I want to welcome the live audience. Thank you for coming into our studio. For the audience at home on Facebook Live, welcome. This is an exciting time. This is our last episode in our first studio space, episode 17. Guys, we're transitioning. We're growing. It's getting better. The shows at Secret Society, the turnout is amazing. That happens every second Monday of the month. It feels like we're a little hermit crab finding our shell. And we found this little spot off of Ash Street in Southeast Portland. We're growing into a much bigger space with a much larger audience and just so much room to grow. And I'm really excited that you are all with me. And I'm excited to introduce our first guest. But first, Marvin, take it away. Everybody, can I get a round of applause? Guys, we've all been through that phase in life where we just don't know what the next move is. And we have a professor who really wanted to deconstruct our ideas and reconstruct our ideas of a higher education. And tonight we're going to find out more about it. Michelle and Elizabeth from Wayfinding Academy, come on out. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm excited to talk about this. And I really love when people see the need for change and they create it. And in a lot of ways, you've done that, Michelle. And I want to introduce to my audience the Wayfinding Academy.
Oh, thanks.
Let's talk about it from the beginning.
Let's do it. What do you want to know? Oh, so, okay, you mentioned that I was a professor.
Yeah.
So for 15 years I did that. I was a professor, traditional higher education, most like normal colleges, mostly small private nonprofit colleges. And after a long time of listening to students and hearing their frustrations about how higher education wasn't really serving them
Yeah.
and was getting way more expensive. And now they're like in all of this debt, and now they don't know what they want to do with their life. And they're like, no, I came here to figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
I thought, I think I could create a different kind of college that starts with that question of who are you, what do you want to do with your life, and then builds that curriculum with those students in mind and helps them get launched into what they want to do with their life. So 3 years ago now, I quit my full-time job.
Yeah.
Started my own college, which is
Like
not
no
a
small
thing.
feat.
It's unheard of. Like, it's not
Yeah.
a normal thing.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, our first cohort of students started, and they're about to graduate.
Yes, Elizabeth being one of them. Welcome, Elizabeth.
So Elizabeth and her cohort mates are graduating in 6 weeks. So, like, we did it. We started a college, we had students, and now they're about to graduate. Like,
Yeah.
really cool.
So let's rewind it. Usually when you start at a college, like, they give you the curriculum that you could take, and you kind of choose your course like a menu,
check, you've got this list, and you're like, oh, this, and yeah.
Yeah. You chose a totally different approach.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
addressing the student. How are we going to best serve you?
Right.
And tell me what makes you different. Like beyond that, like that process of asking people, what does that change in the school system?
Yeah, I think I want to say just like two lines, and then I think Elizabeth should maybe talk about how this is different, because Elizabeth also went to like a traditional college before wayfinding, and so knows that difference. One of our core values is that we believe that we're humans to be cultivated, not objects to be sorted. Because I feel like most traditional colleges treat you like objects to be sorted, where you're just like given this list of things, you have to pick a major, and then maybe if you're lucky, you get an advisor you meet with for like 15 minutes a year. Maybe, if you're lucky.
There's some chuckles there.
Yeah,
We've all kind of been
we
through
know,
it. Yeah.
we know, right?
Yeah.
And then all they do is be like, hey, here's your checklist. Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? But they never spend time getting to know you and what you're passionate about, what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're not doing any of those things. And we really want to be focused on the whole person, the whole human being, and who they are, and what they're interested in, and meet them where they're at. So
Totally.
I feel like you should,
Elizabeth,
yeah,
take
you
it from
should
here.
talk about what you do.
So, what we do as students, I guess, I found wayfinding. I'd gone to traditional college for 2.5 years and dropped out, and found wayfinding about like 4 years after that, and wasn't planning on going back to school. And what drew me to wayfind, like I saw it and I was immediately like, I want to go there.
Right.
And what drew me to it was like this like intentionality and like not doing anything just because, like, I feel like a lot of the higher education system is you go and you do it just because that's what you do.
You're
and like
another
there's not
cog
a whole,
in the machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The checking the boxes and stuff. And I really liked the intentionality with which wayfinding did everything.
Yeah.
And the whole process has just been like, I'm a human being. Like there's more to me than just like putting facts into my brain.
Totally.
And we've been doing, we have 9 courses that are all focused on self or society. And everyone takes those same 9 classes, and then you focus, like you specialize based on like what your own interests are through projects and internships.
Yeah.
And all of the classes have very open, like all of the projects are very open, so you can kind of do whatever you want.
You could find your way. And then it's a very holistic... Yeah. Hello. And so there's so many elements in that. You're coming with such a broad spectrum. I always say, like, this is Lost in Portland. This is the Live in Portland that is on the Lost in Portland network. And I always say you have to get a little lost to truly find yourself. You gain perspective. What are some of the things that were introduced to you in the courses that you feel you may not have witnessed in a traditional style?
I think a lot of what I've learned at wayfinding is like systems thinking. Like that has come up over and over again in classes, and just this idea of looking at like the larger system in which we exist rather than just the symptom. I think found out that I really am interested in houselessness, and I also so I did a project I guess like last fall where I did like an interactive art presentation on the book on Kafka's Metamorphosis, and it was like this really weird moment where I was like, oh, I really like this, like I wonder if it exists in the world. And I spent probably like 2 months designing my own independent study around like participatory art that brings about change, and then also found out that like it's already a thing that exists in the world and had no idea. It's called art and social practice. But yeah, like those things never would have existed for me in a traditional school. Like I mean, in my traditional college, like that was not.
And we're almost, we haven't addressed the fact that, Michelle, you created this academy 3 years ago, right? Where we have 2 cohorts in class right now. We're gonna have our 3rd cohort.
End of
coming
August.
in.
We still have a few spots left, so if somebody you know, any of your friends, family members are interested, or maybe like Elizabeth, they've tried traditional college and they're like, oh yeah, this is not for me. Then we still have a few spots left, end of August, for the 3rd cohort.
I think that's a beautiful philosophy and a beautiful approach, and I'd like a round of a hand for the job you've done. For my audience at home, how can they reach you and get in touch with the Wayfinding Academy?
Oh my gosh, all of the usual ways. Our website basically though is just wayfindingacademy.org, and we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on all of the things. So just reach out to us, and what's unique about us is everything's highly personalized. So you reach out to us, and a human being from Wayfinding, either Tiana or Travis or Meg probably, is getting back to you pretty quickly, and we'll start a conversation. And we've designed our intake process to be like, we will help you figure out what you want to do next with your life, even if that next thing ends up not being wayfinding. So we're all about like helping people figure out their next steps.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for the work you've put in, and congratulations on your 2nd year. Everybody, Michelle and Elizabeth from Wayfinding Academy. Thank you very much. Thank you. How you feeling, Marvin? Energetic is... We can't say that, Marvin. I feel like you're real aggressive. This is our last show in the space. Well, I know, and we can't do it actually in space. I've got to breathe oxygen. I know. Maybe one day we could figure that out. Thank you, everybody. This show is on its 17th episode, and we need to thank... Yes, thank you. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, Abbey Creek Winery and Mad Hippie Skincare, for allowing this outlet for us. We're showcasing Portland's creative artists, creative entrepreneurs, musicians, and of course, comedians. So my next guest, I'm really excited to bring you to the stage. Lydia Manning, come on out.
How you guys doing? Is my mic on? Cool. Give it up for the Wayfinding Academy one more time. That was really cool. It resonated with me. I went to a traditional university. I got a bachelor's degree in environmental science, actually, and all I have to show for it is my armpit hair. So your thing sounds cooler. This is not at all what I expected for tonight, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know there was going to be a studio audience or a studio. I really legitimately was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to some guy's house. he'll like have a cell phone camera, and maybe I'm doing like some stand-up for an assortment of stuffed animals. I got one part right. When I thought that's what I was getting booked for, though, I still said yes. So that like gives you an idea of where I'm at in my career. I would be perfect for a show like that if any of you are booking just for like you and your teddy bear on a Monday night. I'm available most Monday nights. I recently found out that an acquaintance of mine does not like me. Boo. I know. Found out from a mutual friend of ours. Apparently this guy said to our mutual friend, like, his reason for not liking me is like, yeah, she just seems really privileged, which, fair enough. Coming from a lot of people, that's a valid reason to resent me or dislike me. This guy, though, straight, white, cis, male wakeboarder. Wakeboarder. You know that sport, like he grew up wakeboarding, that sport that requires a motorboat on lakefront property, like wakeboard. Like, that's like his problem with me is he's like, yeah, like when I was growing up, my family's yacht didn't have a water slide. Like we had a regular slide, and we had to manually get it wet. Sometimes you'd stick to it before it was wet. The first couple times down, it was rough. You don't understand my struggle, Lydia. You don't know. Our French maid was Canadian. She never let me make out with her. So that's there. If I'd known that there was going to be like a legit setup, like tech people and people here, I might have like showered or something before I showed up here. I'm doing okay though, like as I am. I'm a certain brand of hot. I know it's there, yeah, take it in. It's not for everyone, but it's like very for some people. I tend to attract a certain type of guy. Like, to clue you in on who that type of guy is, the first time my ex saw me naked, he said, golly. Stop picturing it now. You guys have overstayed your welcome in that fantasy. It's too much. I've been watching a lot of rom-coms recently because I've been sad. And there's one thing I dislike about romantic comedies. It is their portrayal of uncircumcised penises. Like, they think that foreskins are this disgusting anomaly. Like, no one in here has one. If anyone has ever seen one, it's because you're a giant slut. And sorry for looking directly at you while I said that. Not slut-shaming, just slut acknowledging. Like, rom-com logic, you see 100 penises before you see your first uncircumcised one. They're that rare. Like, this scene has been in all the romantic comedies. You got protagonist female hooking up with a new guy for the first time. He's uncircumcised. Like, why didn't he warn her about that? She doesn't know how to do sex to that. And she just has to, like, excuse herself, have a split screen scene with her sister, because her sister's, like, worldly. Like, she's been to Europe. She's seen things. She's on the phone with her sister, and she's just like, and her sister's like, oh, uncircumcised dick? Yeah, I've seen one. I know, I'm such a slut. That is my entire personality in this film. Okay, no big deal. I know it's weird, but like, just don't look at it in its eye. Don't say anything about it too loud. Foreskins are very sensitive. You could hurt its feelings. You can put it in your mouth, but don't touch it with the tip of your tongue. You can have sex with it, but do not marry it, or your kids will turn out weird. This is genetic. It's genetic. Did you know? Actually, 1 out of every 4 human males is born with this deformity. That's why it's called a foreskin. Yeah, I don't really like that scene. Because honestly, like, circumcised, uncircumcised, I'm not confident that I can really tell the difference. Like, I know what the difference is, kind of like, I can tell them apart about as well as I can tell apart southern toads and Fowler's toads based on their calls. Yeah, no. It's getting really relatable. Because, you know, southern toads, they sound kind of like... And Fowler's toads sound kind of like... Right? So, like, I can study up and pass that quiz, but if I see them in the wild, I'm just as likely to touch either. If I'm willing to get a bit of pee on my hands. I'm feeling a little bit of judgment right now. It's kind of like a masculine energy coming from somewhere. You know, like how you feel when someone wants to mansplain something to you. That's the feeling I'm getting. Some dude in here is thinking I didn't quite nail those toad calls, wants to come up to me after and be like, hey, actually, southern toads, they sound more like, yeah, it's hard to get up in that register with my man larynx. If I can do it, you can do it. And now that I've called you out on like wanting to mansplain to me toad calls, you probably think I don't want you to do that, which isn't what I'm saying at all. Like, mansplaining normally is a very annoying thing, but like, if your mansplaining involves making animal noises at a woman, do it. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm Lydia Manning. This can be it for me. Thanks so much.
I was totally thinking that was a Southern frog.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Is that it? Lydia, that was an awesome set. Tell my audience where they could find you on social media.
I'm on Twitter at Lydia Manning. It's just my name, but with a J instead of an I. Facebook, Lydia Manning Comedy, or my website, lydiamanningcomedy.com. I'll be releasing an album. You can look out for that in the near future. It's called Judgmental Goldfish.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Lydia. A round of applause for Lydia, everybody. Take it away, Marvin. So everybody, the Lost in Portland network is all about bringing community together, and we've started quite a few events that are coming up. And I just want to give a reminder, this Thursday we will be at the Society Hotel celebrating with Abbey Creek Winery. A great time to get together and meet new people. Once again, that's this Thursday, the first Thursday of the month. So we've got the art shows and everything, and a pre-party at Society Hotel. So I'm excited to go into my next guest. Not go into, but introduce my next guest. I'm really excited to have him on. It's funny how we interacted. We saw each other in the Pearl District, and we both did that kind of like point, hey, and I was like, yo, I'm doing a show. It's a live show that films every Monday. We showcase creative entrepreneurs, and you would be perfect for it. So, Jeff Boggess, come on out. Jeff, welcome.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you, and I'm happy for that interaction that we had in the Pearl District. That was super fun. We're going to talk about trail butter. And to introduce it to a lot of people, Portland is a great city in that it is close to the outdoors. We've got a lot of passionate hikers, trail runners, long distance endurance runners, one you'll meet later today. And me being introduced to your product, I'm just like, that's perfect for all those events. Let's talk about trail butter.
All right, yeah. Been around for about 5 years now in Portland, and it started on a bike trip. I was living in Germany and spent about a year bike touring and sailing, and just being the skinny guy that I am, I needed fat and protein, and didn't really see anything available other than just big jars of nut butter and honey and dried fruit. So I just decided at one point to put it all together, and that's kind of where it started.
And you bring up a good point, like when you talk about nut butter, which is great, you know, fat for when you're out in long distance areas, but it comes in a glass jar, generally, or a jar, like a big cumbersome jar. And you saw the solution through that.
Yeah, we distribute this portable pouch. It's one of our flavors, maple sea salt. Mind if I throw a few out?
Yeah, absolutely. Get some.
Sorry. Hope I don't hurt anybody.
And I've got one. Can we get a close-up shot of the trail butter right there?
Yeah, so everyone's been to Whole Foods, New Seasons, the big nut butter section in the market, but in the outdoor world, there's not. You get a lot of like the high sugar. You get gels and bars, but not a lot of natural nut butters.
Right.
So just seemed like there was an opportunity there that my brother and I decided to pursue.
So how long you started you co-founded this with your brother?
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
It was, I guess it was in 2012.
2012.
Yeah,
awesome.
I guess 6 years now.
And I've seen you all over New Seasons and Whole Foods, and even at small markets like Made Here.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah, tell me about the growth. Like, when did you know that this was a thing?
It was just, we started at farmers markets in Portland, and as a great way to just test the product, get direct feedback from the customers, and everyone seemed to like it. Like, firefighters were coming back to us, climbers were coming back saying, like, this helped me get to the top of this mountain or get through this tough ordeal. So it just kind of gradually grew from there. My brother's a pilot, I'm a landscape architect, and we just gradually turned it into more of a full-time thing.
Yeah. That's super cool. So this is something developed out of necessity. Tell me, you know, we had the Wayfinding Academy earlier on. Let's talk about the nautical excursion that you were on when you kind of had this epiphany.
I was in, like I said, I was in Germany, and but didn't want to come straight back to work in the U.S. So my girlfriend at the time and I decided to ride from Germany, and then from the Canary Islands, we found out that you could just put an ad up on the board at the marina, and you could crew on a sailboat to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Pretty much just you give them your time at the wheel, and you get a ride across the Atlantic. So
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, if anybody wants a sailing experience, that's definitely one to remember.
Yeah.
But so that it was just a great way to transition from being in Europe to getting back integrated into the States, and
with a brand new idea.
Yeah.
And it leads you all here. For my audience, how can they find your product? At what retail locations can they find your products?
New Seasons, Green Zebra, all the mountain shops in town,
Cool.
Next Adventure Mountain Shop, US Outdoor.
Yeah.
Online, we sell on Amazon and on our website.
And one thing we didn't address, like some of the flavors are pretty awesome. So tell me about some of the flavors that you offer.
We've got a dark chocolate coffee, a maple sea salt, and a trail mix blend.
That
And
sounds so good.
Mainly almond butter.
Very cool. And for my audience at home, where can they find you on social media?
Just at Trail Butter on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah.
Awesome. Jeff, thank you so much for coming out. A hand for Jeff, everybody. Marvin, you got it. we go in Portland, you don't know if you're crossing a legend. And sometimes there's people who supersede humanity in a lot of ways. And I'm excited to bring out my next guest. Almost legendary. I'm so excited. Greg Pressler, come on out. Greg, I just imagined you would be full of energy. Something told me that.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Jimmy. Wait a minute. They said Jimmy Fallon would...
No,
not
Jimmy.
I'm
it's Chris. This is Portland.
Oh,
yeah,
but
you know
Chris!
what?
Hey, Chris! It's you, man. It's you.
Oh, Greg, when I first heard about you,
yeah.
I'm like, are we talking about a mythical creature?
No. I'm a living, breathing
person.
No.
What stands out most, my good friend Josh told me that you ran Hood to Coast. Hood to Coast is a relay, everybody, and I think they have 11 people
12.
on each, 12 people on each team.
Yeah.
You decided you didn't need a team.
Well,
it's a solo sport.
I'm kind of a loner. So, I did do that alone. Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. Cool adventure.
Yeah. And that's not it.
It's pretty dumb.
I mean, and there's other things on your list. We're talking about running through the desert, ultra marathons, up to like 300 miles.
Chris, some people have really stupid hobbies.
Yeah.
And I think you can kind of judge that by if you're really having a good time when you're curled up in a ball on a trail somewhere and your pee is the color of oatmeal stout, you probably have a pretty bad hobby, right?
Let's talk about it. Why do you do it? Is it hedonistic? What do you like? What is this? What does running mean to you?
You know, it's a great question. I've been involved in endurance sports for almost 35 years, and it's been an integral part of my life.
Yeah.
I've made it my profession. My career has been built around endurance sports as well.
Yeah.
The why question is the big question.
Yeah.
Of course. Why do people run great distances or cycle great distances or swim great distances or anything? Sailing, climbing, the why question is, it's tough to answer. I think for me it started as, how can I push the limits of performance for myself?
Right.
What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? There's that tendency.
Yeah.
And then I found out that really it was more about the payoff for me was far greater than the inputs that I would put into it. In other words, when I would get into these extreme events, wherever they might be, however long they might be, or whatever the gory details are, I found that the payoffs were just really amazing. And so I just keep coming back for more. It's kind of like going to an ATM machine. You put your card in, and all of a sudden start spitting out 20s, and you're kind of looking around like, hey, I'm good. I just came for 20, but like 400. So it's this eternal ATM machine that just keeps spitting out goodness, and it's really an amazing payout.
ATM machine spitting out goodness. Cheers to that. So I imagine there's
You're awesome, Conan! Conan, I love you! He's great, man. Great.
This is great.
I'm so tired today, too.
Are you tired?
I was at a protest.
Oh, okay. Tell me about
you heard about the protest yesterday.
Yeah.
The things in Portland. Portland is protest town, and today there was this knitting protest downtown. And I'm not into knitting, but I was just supporting a friend. I don't know.
You want to be there for them.
You do. You want to lift up.
Yeah.
I'm a people person, helping.
Up. Yeah.
Knit up. Yeah, and they were protesting minimum wage for those people that make the skeins or skeins or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, and then there was this counter protest. I don't know. They were people that hate sweaters and So I'm really tired.
Well, it's summertime, right?
Yeah.
It's not sweater weather.
Right.
Things are changing.
For some people.
You host an event all throughout summer.
Yes, I do.
in Northwest Portland.
I do.
Can we talk about that?
Sure. First Thursday Urban Adventure Run. That's actually hosted by Fleet Feet Sports. It's a local running endurance sports store with 3 locations, and I work with them and do this. First Thursday Urban Adventure Run. Hundreds of people come out and they go to different checkpoints, and they allow me to make fun of people in the audience and call people names. And, like, you, sir, are also dumb. And I'm a runner and you're also dumb. I know, but, it's really fun, and they get prizes, and it's really cool. Really a fun time, yeah.
So I love Portland because it's a city of extreme hobbyists. And
It is extreme hobbyists,
And you have a multitude.
Knitters, ultra runners, all that, yeah.
Also, Portland jerseys.
Yes, so this is a little apparel company that I started with a business partner of mine, and we make custom jerseys, really cool. Different jerseys that we sell to events, that want a custom jersey, and then we sell individual ones to consumers. So we brought you a couple to show you. Here's one from the event called Portland Century. It's kind of modeled after the. You guys might recognize those colors. There you go, right there.
Not Blazers.
I don't know, something like that.
Do you have this in extra medium?
We have it in ultra medium. Ultra medium.
Nice.
Here's one called our Gorge jersey that we did as a fundraiser for the Columbia River Gorge. It's full colors there. And then
So cool.
Some others. Here's one that we did for the ladies.
Yeah.
Called
Rosie the Riveter, right?
We are doing it, right? So there's that one. That's your size.
I'll rock
And then
that.
here's
sure.
one of our Chris, this is one I brought just for you. We call this
You're like the Carrot Top of jerseys.
we call this the Laser Kitty right there. Laser Kitty. Saving the universe one jersey at a time. Right
You know
there.
what this reminds me of is my cameraman Ian, who's right here kneeled in front of us. This is totally his style.
Well, yeah, I can tell. His whole visage says Laser Kitty, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's at first glance.
Right. I walked in the door, and by the way, the green room, a lot of your guests don't know this, and your audience don't know this, especially you guys up there in the balcony. Good to see you.
Shout out to you guys.
The green room and back,
Yeah.
I actually, it's more of a broom closet.
Yeah.
I
Comfy.
tripped on a mop bucket back there. I went down. My attorney could call.
You signed a release.
Yeah. Did I sign a release
we
form?
did
Did I
sign
do
a-
that?
You did.
Damn
do
it.
that, yeah. And we've got you on film. Greg,
Hey, thanks.
so
man.
much for coming on. You're
Thanks very
such a
much,
ball
Chris.
of energy.
Thanks,
I love
man.
it.
Thanks,
Everybody, Greg Pressler, everybody. Before we take a break, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out. We're going to come back, and we have an awesome show for you by Kingsley. But right now, a word from Mad Hippie. Everybody, put your hands together for Kingsley!
Till the day when you caved in, you told me I deserve someone better than you, baby. The day when you gave in, you broke my heart in two and took the other half with you. Oh, you. I'll never get used to being without you. I'll never get used to being without you. fell all in. I gave you all that I could give to the times when you and I felt like we were eternity. How am I supposed to be when you're not with me? How am I supposed to go on? How am I supposed to stay strong? How am I supposed to be when you're not with me? I'll never get used to being without you.
So we're gonna do something just for Lost in Portland, just for tonight. We've never played this before. We've never practiced it before.
Hollywood shapes it to be a beautiful disaster. Why do I get ahead of me? My pride stumbles on this broken heart. Trying to be the woman my mama always wanted me to be. Yes, you can say I'm finding my way. 25 ain't as easy as they say. I'm only human. I'm only I'll break your heart if you mess with me. Just how I trained myself to be. My pride stumbles on this broken heart. People say I look like I got this figured out. Yes, you can say I'm finding my way. Just run around unconventionally. I'm only human. I'm only human. You guys can sing it. I'm only I'm only human.
Kingsley, thank you so much.
This is Miguel on guitar,
Miguel.
on auxiliary drums. This is Jeff.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I have to say something. This show has been all about creating communal joy, witnessing greatness in one another. And I feel extremely fortunate to be in such an intimate place and be able to see your performance. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Kingsley. Tell me, you've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
We're talking about an EP release this month.
This month, 19 days on June 23rd at the Old Church Concert Hall. My EP's releasing. It's called I Am Because I Am. So
It's so beautiful. For my audience at home, how can they get in touch with you through social media?
not on Tinder anymore. I just got rid of that.
Congratulations!
Thank you. So now I pay for my own meals. On Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, they're all the same. It's Kingsley Muse, M-U-S. Or just type in Kingsley Music.
Awesome. Kingsley, this is so great. Everybody, I need you to come to the stage. Be careful, we've got some equipment, but come to the stage. This is exciting. We've got 17 episodes in. This is our opportunity to showcase our friends, our loved ones, and the extreme talent that is here in Portland. Everybody, this is episode 17. Thanks for coming out.